Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Rakuten Boots. I am SK, Senior Vice President of Partner and Portfolio Management at Rakuten Symphony. And I'm delighted to moderate this session that we have today on Cloud Native ORAN, proven, scalable, transformative. Now, this topic is at the heart of network evolution. It promises greater flexibility, efficiency, and innovation for operators worldwide. We have an exceptional panel today. First of all, we have Dr. Da Silva with us. Dr. Mothilal Da Silva is chairman of SLT-Mobitel Sri Lanka, and he's a multidisciplinary senior telecommunications executive and corporate strategist with decades of experience, known for his turnaround in leadership and strategic vision. Welcome, Dr. Da Silva.
Thanks.
Next, we have Abbi. Abbi is CEO and Executive Director of Sierra. Abbi is an experienced executive leader and business development professional within the Sierra Group, a diversified Sri Lankan conglomerate specializing in telecommunications, ICT, construction, and what have you, a lot of disciplines that Abbi and his company works for. So welcome, Abbi.
Thank you, SK.
Then we have Rishi. Rishi is our Vice President of Sales from APAC. Rishi comes from a wide variety of experience, including driving network transformation across APAC. Welcome, Rishi. All right, so gentlemen, we're going to go through a round robin of questions. I'm going to start with Dr. Da Silva first. Dr. Da Silva, first of all, congratulations on the first ORAN call that you had with Rakuten Symphony. And it was a very successful call, I hear. It achieved up to around 1 gigabytes per second as download, which is a great deal. Any comments and any words of advice about that?
Yeah, I think it's a big achievement on the part of us, and then I think credit should go to Sierra also, because they are the SIs for this entire project. And also I should thank Rakuten for coming forward and then taking a big risk. Actually, we signed an MOU in last October, that is 2025, and I think this will be a significant milestone in not only for Mobitel, but also for Sri Lanka's economic development. So the mainly it gives a lot of flexibility, and then gives security as a nation. And then we are once these trials are over, so we have plans to roll out this in different clusters. So we have identified certain areas that that has a lot of potential for economic development, especially for manufacturing industry. There are certain areas that we have identified and demarcated, and in down south and in the central area. So because Sri Lanka wants to attract a lot of investments into the country, so they want to basically attract Western and Japanese investments. So in that sense, it is very important for us to go with a vendor like Rakuten, and because that gives more confidence and security for foreign investors. So in that sense, this helps Sri Lanka to go to the next level. I mean, if things go very well in the trials. So and the other, from the company point of view, I think the number one is achieving good TC, total cost of ownership, and because this will enable us to reduce Capex, not only Capex, even operational expenditure. So that because this has a kind of modular architecture, and then we can optimize investment in many sense. That and scalability is very important, and this gives scalability also. And then other thing is automation. Important area is automation. So then from the company point of view, Mobitel can certain functions of the network can be automated. And then we have flexibility in working with different vendors also, and probably hardware with one vendor and then the software with one vendor. And so this open and virtualized architecture will give more benefit to the company.
Thank you very much, Dr. Silva. This is the ORAN is all about that. The ORAN is all about multiple vendors opening up those interfaces towards the broader ecosystem. And these kind of words coming from you as the chairman of SLT-Mobitel, they mean a lot to, I think, the overall ORAN ecosystem. So my next question to you yourself is, as Sri Lanka is really accelerating their digital transformation journey, what SLT-Mobitel has as a responsibility in the drive for that technical innovation?
So in many ways, one thing is the connectivity. We have to provide then more reliable, robust infrastructure, and then the security is also another important area, because especially in these economic clusters, we have to provide secure connectivity for the investors. And so this I would say this will help Sri Lanka's economic growth and the transformation, as you said, digital transformation. So currently we won a tender for national government cloud. So all the government institutions will host their applications in our data centers. And we are also planning to roll out the Rakuten Cloud there. And in fact, one of the big conglomerate in Sri Lanka, a diversified business, is now is interested, and then we have submitted the proposal based on Rakuten Cloud.
Fantastic to hear that. Thank you very much, Dr. Silva. I'm going to now turn to Abby. So, Abby, you have been experiencing this ORAN drive that we have at Rakuten Symphony, along with now your deployment in SLT-Mobitel through Sierra, your organization being a partner of Rakuten Symphony. How do you see the big picture of this ORAN-based, the cloud-native or cloud-based ORAN that we are going to offer to the region itself? How do you see that happening in as a bigger picture?
Yeah, thanks, SK, for that question. When we Sri Lanka Telecom has been a long-term partner of Sierra's. We've been in close partnership for over 45 years now. We started with rolling out, the first exchanges, going from copper to fiber and then to wireless networks. So we have a long history of association. Trust is very key for us when we recommend a solution. I have been in the telecom industry for many, many decades. And what we look for in working with trusted partners like Sri Lanka Telecom is actually a few things, really. One is a partner's commitment to innovation as we journey. Partners' commitment to driving more automation and AI, flexibility, and ultimately helping us reduce total cost of ownership for both us and our customer. right? So these are key considerations. We've looked at the whole APAC region. There's a lot of vendor lock-in, and that puts a lot of other partners in quite a vulnerable position, especially now with a lot of the geopolitical challenges. So when we look at recommending a solution or technology, we look at flexibility first and foremost. Us being able to kind of mix and match, if you like, not be tied into any one vendor or technology. And this was one of the key considerations when we came about selecting Open RAN. When it comes to innovation and commitment to driving more automation and AI, we couldn't go past, Rakuten. Your commitment to driving the whole ecosystem, not just in the core technology, but in what surrounds it, around the ecosystem, around the OSS, and your proven ability of having driven down your TCO. These are some of the considerations that we've taken into account.
Thank you very much, Abbi. Abbi, I think the more we are talking about ORAN, we always talk about avoiding vendor interlocking. We also talk about lower OPEX, and that's what you touched based on. And the innovation that this kind of network brings, and this agility that it brings to have that kind of innovation deployed faster than the hardware-based legacy vendor solutions. I'm going to turn to Rishi now. And while I talk about the software-driven networks, this is happening more and more. It's accelerated in the last few years. Now, the more and more networks are going into software-driven nature. How does AI-based automation basically play a role in such a network where it's mostly software-driven?
Thank you, SK, for the question. So almost 10 months back, when we started our journey with SLT, and we have seen their architecture, which is there on the ground. It was completely on the monolithic based environment. So what we have done with Sierra as a partner, and we went through the architecture, and then we said that, yes, the problem is there related to the OPEX, because there is vendor locking. They charge for the support, they charge for the AMC as per their wish, right? Similarly, we have seen that there was a lot of digital transformation was happening in Sri Lanka, and in terms of data centers, a lot of requirements were coming up. But again, the problem is how to scale in, scale out, and lot of things were there. So what happened that we have realized, and I have seen the four phases, that when the world started, it was like completely a manual operation, and followed by assist and operate. Then comes the automation and AI. So that's the journey we have adopted. So what we have done, we started with the ORAN, which is the disintegrated approach, where is no vendor locking system. And we have demonstrated that in one of the site, and then we have 5 more to go. And whatever we have promised from the automation and AI perspective, which will bring the OPEX down over a period of time, right? That's what we are demonstrating through our features, and like energy saving features, cell sleeping features. So that's what we have promised, and we said that we will deliver. On the contrary, when we started on the cloud journey, and we have seen that again, there are the biggies in the market, and then they have their own ways of working and charging, right? So we come up again with the flexibility, as Motilal ji has said, that we started building on a concept of cloud. What we have done there, that we said, okay, any hardware you can bring, we can put our Robin IO platform there, and we are providing our CNP and CMO layer, and then it is completely automated. So the idea is to focus on scale in, scale out, no vendor locking, and then whatever the customer. For example, we have selected one customer which is more in electronic segment right now, to push to this data center, and now we are planning few more, 3-4 more over a period of time. So that's the architecture we are looking for. Compared to the monolithic, it was always a thought 9 months back that we should come up with a thought where manual operation is a big no, because it's a human dependency, it takes time, and with the advent of software, even on the DU, CU, it becomes software heavy. We have seen 6 to 7 frequency band which are radiating. No more, it's only GSM radiating on 900 megahertz. So we have to automate the system. We have to disintegrate. Otherwise, without that, you cannot achieve OPEX savings over a period of time. and features like closed loop automation, anomaly detection. That's what we are going to demonstrate over a period of time, where they can see a lot of saving along with sustainability and energy, which where we have achieved 4.0. That's what we are going to demonstrate and show that where they can save, and then manpower can also be reduced over. They can do something good, right? More from the customer experience and KPI perspective, but not on just waiting at trouble ticketing and forwarding it to L2 or L3. So it would be more automated, and then AI enabled use cases which we are going to build. So this is the must from the SLT and then Sri Lanka digital transformation perspective.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Rishi. Rishi, I think you just touched based on level 4 of automation from RMI, and I'm sure that has set actually an example now for the world that these Open RAN based networks can achieve level 4 transformation and on automation. And now we are shooting, RMI and Rakuten Mobile is actually shooting for level 5, which is zero human and zero touch. So, which is exactly where I'm sure you would also want to achieve. I've got a question from you, Dr. Motilal. We have seen the data consumption grow more and more and more, and that's exactly what's happening in Sri Lanka as well. Now, with this increase in data consumption, we have to check the cost of the data itself, the per GB cost. How is SOT doing? What kind of strategies are you pulling to keep the cost down, but still the quality of your network, high, and the performance of your network high?
Yeah, that's I think good question, and it's a big challenge actually reducing cost of data per GB cost. Currently, what we do is we do network optimization, and then the other thing is as Rishi Rishi said, it's the reduce the manual intervention as much as possible, and again the proactive monitoring is also important, and so that is the we have to achieve OPEX saving, and also Capex is also very important, and we expect by introducing this technology, this is a frontier technology, we believe, and and is a way of reducing Capex also. So reducing Capex and then reducing operational expenditure by way of reducing manual intervention and then proactive monitoring and network optimization. So all that, so that leads us to achieve good OPEX savings, and so that's our plan to reduce the cost per GB. But currently, it is a big challenge at this stage.
Yep.
And maintaining low cost per GB, only thing, the scale advantage is there. So when we scale up, the cost per GB reduces. But apart from that, then with this kind of technology, I think we are planning to reduce the cost per GB.
Sure. So, Dr. Silva, I think we should also look at how Mickey has done that in Japan and how we have done that with Rakuten Mobile.
Yeah.
In the last
other thing is building an ecosystem.
Yep.
You know that's what we had a discussion with Mickey today, and it was very interesting. And then it's basically centered around that, building ecosystem, and then moving into adjacencies. That way we can go into other areas of business like health tech, then fintechs. So the diversification is also one way, but using the foundational technology of the 5G or 4G, and then the other thing is so we are a fixed and mobile network. SLT is basically fixed line network, and the Mobitel is the mobile. So we have to find ways of combining this. I mean, the unification is also providing unified packages, and then so these are the ways of building loyalty. And then other issue what we have is churn. So it's very high. So the reducing churn is also is a way of reducing cost, because acquisition is cost of acquisition is very high. So reducing churn by way of having this unification and building an ecosystem and going into adjacencies. So those are the ways of reducing cost per GB and optimize the cost of GB.
Fantastic. I think we're talking about an ecosystem diversification as well as the bundled approach of using your fixed line plus mobile converged together. Thank you very much, Dr. Mothilal Da Silva. I'm just going to turn to Abbi. My last question to you. What do you see in your partners when you partner with companies like Rakuten Symphony? What exactly are you looking for?
Kind of builds on what Dr. Da Silva was saying as well. Commitment to innovation and ensuring, we have something future-proof. Just to build on what Dr. Da Silva said, we look at partners who can help run organizations more efficiently. Just touching on cost per GB, if you look at, I know Dr. Mothilal Da Silva touched on the overall cost, but if you look at the pure production cost per GB, for me, there are three main drivers: spectral efficiency, Capex efficiency, and Opex efficiency. And these are key areas that we know Rakuten have addressed. We know 5G is a more spectral efficient way to produce a gigabit. We know from a non-vendor lock-in perspective, we can extract more bang for our buck when it comes to Capex efficiency. We've seen this in the last few months as well, where certain vendors have put up the hardware pricing by almost double. But since we're not captive to one, we are free to mix and match. We've also then seen how you drive Opex efficiency, just looking at some benchmark metrics from like RMI, where you manage hundreds of thousands of base stations with, very, very admirable headcount ratios. Everything from zero-touch provisioning to a high degree of optimization to the RAPS ecosystem where you can extract a lot more in terms of energy savings. So these are some of the considerations that we would take in going for a new technology, especially with trusted partners like Sri Lanka Telecom.
Fantastic. Really, really nice to hear from all of you. Rishi, Abbi, Dr. Da Silva, thank you very much for joining us. We have run out of time now, so I'm going to ask you guys to, probably if we can get a good clap from everyone, a round of applause for the people who've been on the panel today. Thank you very much for joining us.